I'm the firstborn son of loved, rich and powerful man, ticking all the privilege boxes.
But what was it like growing up with a father like Aamir Khan?
I don't know, yeah. I have not had any other father, so... I mean, I think my father was a very big movie star. He got like some 40 years of work. And he's still like on the top of his game. Because after the pandemic, dad was also having a thing in life, which everyone now knows about. He's talked about it very publicly. But I do feel that I want to be able to go up in front of people and make a fool of myself. I think I'm doing that a lot in these promotions.
How do you feel about social media? Talk to me about your equation with Imran Khan.
I did a test for Lal Singh Chadda as well. Adi Chopra had seen it and he thought, there are lots of reasons for films not to work out. It takes a lot for it to actually come together and happen.
Yeah.
Yash Raj actually doesn't really show their films.
Really?
They don't, They don't like... Khushi and I are actually both quite similar in that sense. I think we're both very quiet and I think we're both introverts.
How was the whole singing and dancing thing?
Well, I am a terrible dancer. Farah ma'am's assistants on the song were trying to teach me some other pieces. On set, Farah ma'am saw them and they were like, she's like, no, just walk. Just walk. Ashutosh sir, he lifts the performance of everybody there.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to work off.
Has the whole nepotism conversation come up with you and how do you feel about it? Especially because the film involves you and Khushi.
I can, as an actor today, I can afford to not be on social media. Other
Somebody
actors
who's just
would be able to do that. I don't need that because the whole industry knows who I am. And producers are very confident that when a film comes with me in it, it'll get those eyeballs simply because I'm in it. While you're working hard as an actor, the light boys are having it harder. You're like shooting in Rajasthan in the middle of summer. You have it tough as an actor. It is hot and you're supposed to wear costume and all, but you're not lifting heavy equipment in the middle of the day with no shade. कुछ बातें चल रही थी relationships प्यार के बारे में. Papa was like, okay, let me tell you about my love life. And it went on for 3 days.
What did he say? If you had
No, he started for...
Welcome to Humans of Bombay, Junaid. Lovely to have you.
Thank you so much.
आपके सारे reels we're seeing online and you're in the middle of a promotion frenzy.
Yeah.
So how's it been going?
No, it's been fun, yeah. Getting to meet lots of people.
Yeah.
Talk about our film.
Yeah. As it happens during promotions.
Yeah.
So let's rewind. We won't talk about your film just yet. We'll talk about all other things. Okay.
I'm happy to talk about the film.
Yeah, acha, okay.
We are stage people. We do lots of repetition in life.
How did theatre happen? Considering, you have to be very expressive, be in front of an audience. Also, theatre is considered way more challenging by people than traditional cinema. So how did theatre happen?
Well, I don't know about that, whether it is more challenging or not. I think they both have their challenges, so I don't think that's fair to say. But, when I went to college, I think after 10th standard, I was 16. I went to HR to do commerce. At that time, actually, I was fascinated by economics.
Really?
So I was, I think, gearing towards like finance or law or something like that. But I went to HR and first time after school where, in school it's still very protected, right? You have a school bus that drops you and then you're not really going anywhere on your own. So first time going to college, taking the train from Bandra to Churchgate.
Yeah.
The college had all of these clubs and the third lecture they used to come in to make announcements to come and join our club. So there was a debate club and there was a students council, all of them. And then there was the Rotaract club of HR college. And they'd come with like 15 people would come, perform a little skate, make complete fools of themselves in front of like 150 of us.
Yeah.
First time into college kids. And I saw that and I was like, I really want to be able to do that.
Wow. I
want to be able to go up in front of people and make a fool of myself. I think I'm doing that a lot in these promotions.
Not at all.
But yeah, I think that's where I started gravitating more towards stage and
But you had prior experience. You were an assistant director, right? During PK.
Dad was just starting PK. So he's like, why don't you come and assist? So then for 2 years I was assisting on PK.
How was that?
It was great fun. I used to go to college to give my exam, so I did graduate.
Just to be
Just
clear.
about.
Yeah.
Just about I did graduate.
Yeah. So how was the experience? Because I mean, Rajkumar Hirani is like a dream director for so many people.
Yeah.
And to work with him, also to work with your father, who's obviously we'll talk about more.
Yeah, I didn't work with my father so much on PK.
Okay.
Raju sir is, I mean, he's one of the best, one of the top directors in the industry.
Yeah.
He was then, he is now.
Yeah.
He's a very prep-heavy director.
Okay.
He spends a lot of time in prep. He also edits his own films, so he knows what he wants from his shots. And he knows how he wants to cover a scene, even from an edit point of view. So, I mean, it was a great experience. I got to learn about how a set runs more than anything else. I think, I mean, at the end of the day, even as actors on a film set, that is our workspace. And I think I got an idea of the nuts and bolts of filmmaking a lot from my experience there. I think PK was, if I'm not mistaken, the last big film shot on 35mm film.
Okay.
I mean, digital had already come in, and a lot of films were already shifting to digital photography, but PK was shot on 35mm film. And there's a certain etiquette on a film set, a certain discipline on a film set when you're shooting on film.
Yeah.
Which I got to experience and I got to learn from. So I think that was great.
What was the biggest thing you learned on that set?
I mean, so many things. You just learn how a set runs, yeah?
Yeah.
Because the AD department, contrary to what a lot of people think, actually do very little creative work. It's mostly managing set.
Right.
I was technically one of Raju sir's DAs. I wasn't an AD, but he had 3 DAs because he was very prep heavy. So on shoot, I was loaned out to AD department. So so I got to learn how a set runs.
Yeah.
And there's so many things. I mean, it is fascinating. You've got like 200 people coming together to make
A film.
sometimes more.
Yeah.
In the same space. It is a huge exercise in logistics and planning. And you get to learn to appreciate that as an actor as well.
Yeah, like it looks easy when you see a film and you think it's effortless, but there's like insane amount of work.
There are many people working very, very hard for very long hours in very difficult conditions. And not just the actors. And as actors, you get to appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because yes, while you're working hard as an actor, the light boys are having it harder.
Let's just say that, yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're like shooting in Rajasthan in the middle of summer,
It's
you have it tough as an actor. It is hot and you're supposed to wear costume and all, but you're not lifting heavy equipment in the middle of the day with no shade.
yeah.
So,
And you didn't interface a lot with your father during?
Not so much.
Okay.
Not so much. I mean, he was around and I was around, but not so much. I wasn't really... wasn't really my department.
Yeah. Very categorical. This is my lane and that's what's happening the other way.
Yeah.
But what was it like growing up with a father like Aamir Khan?
I don't know, yeah. I have not had any other father, so it's difficult for me to have
compare,
a comparison on like...
Yeah.
No, but I do feel that I have a very supportive family, a very liberal family, a very open family. And I'm really glad about that. Very encouraging family. They let us explore, they let us do our thing. They're always there for us, but they let us do our own thing as well. So I think I think that combination has worked out very well.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Yeah. How did it lead? How did you finally decide to, get into acting? And that
after I graduated and after PK, I went to theatre school in America. I was there for 2 years. It was a 2-year program. It was a theatre conservatory. So they have a 2-year program and then they have a repertory which you can spend a year with after your program is complete. So I did that. So I was there for 3 years. I came back in 2017 and I was doing plays. I was trying to get into the theatre community in Bombay.
Yeah.
It's a small but very loving community, especially like the English Hindi theatre, the English theatre in
Yeah.
Bombay. So I was doing that. I was doing plays, and every now and again I would get called in for an audition for film work. So it would happen a couple of times. I'd done a few tests here and there. I did a test for Lal Singh Chadda as well.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
How did that go?
I think it went well. I think generally it was liked.
Yeah.
Because Adi Chopra had seen it and he thought of me when Maharaj script came to him.
Okay.
So I think generally it went well. I mean, the film didn't work out for lots of reasons. There are lots of reasons for films not to work out. It takes a lot for it to actually come together and happen.
Yeah.
So then in 2020, Adi sir called me and he said, I have a script I want you to hear. So yeah, then lockdown happened and, we were all kind of like stuck at home. But Yash Raj was very clear that they wanted to make this film still. And at that point, a lot of films got shelved. A lot of projects got cancelled. And this was something that they had not really invested in yet. It wasn't like on floors or anything.
You hadn't shot effectively anything, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
He just had a script and he just spoken to me first and that was it.
Yeah.
He just had an actor. So there was no
Movement.
there was no investment really in the project already. But they were still very clear that they wanted to make it. And they were like, look, you guys should keep working and keep rehearsing on Zoom and stuff like that. Keep working because as soon as we can shoot this, we will shoot this. Whether it's in 2 or 3 months, 6 months, a year, whenever we are able to shoot again, we are making this film. So keep working.
But was this period of uncertainty kind of bothering you?
Well, no, I think I was very lucky. I mean, I had a... I didn't have to worry about rent or, where my next meal was coming from. And I had work. I mean, we were working.
Yeah.
We were rehearsing and I love rehearsing and I got the time to rehearse. So I think I was very lucky. A lot of... most people were not. I mean, I know a lot of actor friends of mine who had to go back home. And they've not come back yet. I mean, they had to give it up because...
It was just what it is, yeah.
You can't make rent in Bombay.
Yeah, it's really
So they had to go back home.
Yeah.
I mean, there were lots of these friends of mine who I'd worked with on stage who, they had done like engineering, done a couple of years, made some money, done a couple of years of work after doing engineering, made some money, fought with their families, come to Bombay to be actors, and then they were...
Out of... If everything was shut,
You can't spend 7-8 months a year over here without work. It's just not...
Yeah.
If you have to pay rent, it's just not possible.
Yeah.
And they had to move back and they had to give up on it. So yeah, I think I was very fortunate at that point.
What is the way to kind of manage the comparison that would inevitably come, right? In context of how the industry or people in general are. Like it's very easy to draw comparisons. So did that ever weigh on you?
Not really. I think we were always encouraged to like do our own thing and like family and stuff. So not really. Also, I think like Dad and I are physically very different. We look very different. I mean, he's got like some 40 years of work behind him. And he's still like on the top of his game. So I don't know. Yeah, not really.
No. How did you feel when you saw it finally, when it released after shooting after the pandemic?
Maharaj.
Yeah. How did you feel? How did your family feel? How did your friends feel? What was that period like?
No, there were. I think I had seen it for the first time in 2022. So I think a good couple of years before it came out. I think beginning of 2022, I'd seen a cut of it. Because Yash Raj actually doesn't really show their films.
Really?
They don't, They don't like showing their films. But I mean, Dad and Adi sir are obviously old friends. And they worked a lot together. So, and he also knows that they don't like showing their films so early on. But I think he played Junaid has old grandparents, and who will know what will happen. So can I at least show them the film?
Oh.
So then Adi sir was like, yeah, okay. So then we all snuck into that screening. No, but I think they were very happy. I think, I think they were very, very happy.
Yeah, as it should be.
I think it went well, that screening.
And then, how did life change after Maharaj? Did it change?
Not so much.
No? Okay.
Not so much. I think when it came out, I was shooting Loveyappa.
Yeah.
I was in Delhi. So it was like, we were shooting nights at that point. It was, when you're shooting, especially outdoors, you're very insulated. You tend to be like,
Cut off a little
hotel to set to hotel to set, and there's not really much else happening around. So yeah, I don't think it really sunk in very much. Yeah.
And how did you, like, when it did come out and when you were already shooting, were you like, checking reviews, checking what people have to say, or were you like a little bit like, it'll do what it's doing and I'm going to do my thing?
No, I think I did think it would do a little bit what it's doing, but I don't think I had the time. When you're shooting, it's really, it's not.
It's like consuming.
Yeah, it's not easy to be like
Yeah.
elsewhere. Like, I normally never have my phone on set.
Really?
Yeah.
You're also you don't have an Instagram profile,
No, I
which is
don't.
very interesting because your film Loveyappa has, the phone is like very instrumental in the plot.
That it is.
Yeah. You don't have an Instagram, your social profile is quite low, except right now where you're going trending and you're,
Yeah.
I mean, you are trending.
My dream of making a fool of myself publicly has come true.
So why this? Is it a conscious decision? How do you feel about social media? What is your...
No, I don't think it was conscious. No, because I've been asked this a lot now, especially in the last few days. I think when I was in college, we had a Facebook account and we all had Facebook accounts. And I think social media was very different then. It wasn't on our phones. We didn't have smartphones.
Yeah, you had to go on a like a computer.
It was on a computer, on a laptop or a desktop. And photographs were not as... Visual mediums were not as big a part of social media at that time.
Yeah.
I think it was, we used to like write on people's walls.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
update statuses.
BBM status also.
Yeah, well,
at
actually,
that time.
BBM was not a thing for me.
Okay.
I never had a BlackBerry.
Okay.
But I know a lot of people did.
Yeah, I did. I loved.
I had a Nokia.
Oh, you're Nokia. Okay.
I had gone Nokia straight to smartphone.
Yeah.
Eventually. Yeah, so, but then I think at some point Instagram came, people were making that switch.
Yeah.
But I think it never happened for me because I tended to never take photographs. That was not a thing for me. I still don't take photographs.
Yeah.
So I don't think I ever made that switch because I never had anything to put up. And yeah, I guess it just never happened.
Yeah. And do you want to come back on it, or do you want
Not really.
to,
I
no?
still do have my Facebook account. It's
Oh,
still
you
there.
do? Okay.
I mean, occasionally I'll get like messages from like friends from like theatre school from abroad.
yeah.
Like I have friends who are
They'll
now
connect
all
you
over
with
the
you on
world.
Facebook.
Yeah. So yeah, it's still there.
It's old school.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really post things, and I'm not really. I don't think it's something that excites me. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
It's refreshing. So let's talk about Loveyappa. We must talk about it. How was the experience of shooting a very Gen Z film, right? Like very different from what you did with Maharaj.
Yeah.
And very, like I said, it involves a phone, it involves social media, I'm assuming. Very, very Gen Z, very different. I keep saying Gen Z. But how was the process of making it?
No, it was great fun. Madhu sir was one of the producers. He met me, and he was like, I have the rights to this Tamil film. I want you to watch. So I said, yeah, sir, definitely. I mean, I'd known him from before, met him socially. He'd worked with Papa on Gajni. So he said, I have the rights to this film and I want you to watch it. I'll only tell you one line. The story is the boy goes to the girl's house, asks the father to marry her. Father says, I'm okay with it, but you all have to exchange your mobile phones for one day. At the end of that, if you still want to get married, then I'm game. And I think that one-liner is a fantastic hook. I was fully excited. I think it's a great hook. So I watched the film. I loved the film. I think Pradeep sir has done a fantastic job. I mean, he acted in it and he directed it. So I thought it was funny. It was heartwarming. It was emotional. So I was very excited. I was a bit surprised that they wanted me for the part.
Why did that surprise you?
Because it is so far away from my actual personality,
Right.
the character.
Yeah.
Like I feel it's Gaurav in Loveyappa is much further away from my personality than say Karsam Das and Maharaj.
Okay.
So I was a bit surprised they wanted me, but they were very confident. Advait was somebody I had briefly worked with before for the Lal Singh Chadda test. We'd done 3 or 4 days of shoot for that. So I was excited to work with him. He has a great energy on set. He's always very excited and enthusiastic. And he's very, very good with performances. I think he gets the best performances from his actors. Even like small parts, even like actors who are coming in just for a scene or two. I think he gets really good performances from everyone. So I was very excited.
Wow. So what was the time on set like with Khushi Kapoor, your co-star? Did you have an instant kind of like, okay, we're making this film, or did it take a little bit of time?
Khushi and I are actually both quite similar in that sense. I think we're both very quiet and I think we're both introverts. So, I met her for the first time on for the film at the Phantom office with Advait, and he was talking about the script and the characters, and he's a very excited person. Both of us were like sitting quietly and answering in one words, like, yes, sir, of course, okay, sir. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think he got a bit nervous at one point. He was like, oh my God, what have I got myself into?
Yeah.
No, but we rehearsed for it about 5 or 6 weeks. And I think that's where we kind of like connected and became friends.
Yeah.
And a lot of our scenes in the film are actually over the phone. So we really didn't shoot much together.
Really?
I think aside from the songs, we must have only shot like 6 or 7 days together.
That's crazy. In the entire shoot
in
schedule.
the entire film.
Yeah.
Because most of our scenes are over the phone or like a video call or something like that. So they are shot separately in 2 different locations. So the rehearsals for that were very important because you need to set a rhythm for the scene and you need clarity on where you're going with the scene beforehand. You can't change things on set because it's going to affect the other person 3 or 4 weeks later at a fully different location.
Correct.
Things like that. So that's why we had lots of rehearsals, and I like that. I'm grateful for that. So
yeah, the preparation that just went into it.
Yeah.
And how do you feel after? Have you seen the entire thing, or is it still?
No, I've seen the film.
You've seen it.
I like it. I like the film.
How was the whole singing and dancing thing?
Well, I am a terrible dancer.
Okay.
Thankfully, I don't have to sing. I'm a terrible singer as well.
Okay. But you didn't have to sing. Okay.
But we didn't really dance so much in this film.
Okay.
I mean, there are 2 songs, but there's not really so much dancing.
Right.
It's all very... Loveyappa is stylized in a way where you don't really have to dance.
Okay.
And Kol is just the hook step. I think Farah ma'am's assistants on the song were trying to teach me some other pieces to use in other parts of the song. which they did in the rehearsals. And then on set, Farah ma'am saw them and they were like, she was like, no, just walk. Just walk.
We'll skip.
Just walk it.
Yeah.
No.
Fun. Any fun memories from the set?
Oh, yeah, lots. No, it was a very young and excited crew.
Yeah.
It was like a first-time DOP, first-time production designer. Phantom was making a film after a long time. There are lots of young actors. I mean, we had some very senior actors as well. Ashutosh Rana ji, Kiku sir, Grusha ji. But we also had like a lot of young first-time-ish actors. I had this whole group of friends in the film who I shot with in more than Khushi. But and a lot of them are like fresh.
Yeah.
I think it's Kullu's first film.
Yeah.
Jason, Nikhil has done some stuff before. Eunice. So yeah, I think we kind of like became like a group and we all had our own individual personalities to it.
Yeah.
Nikhil was the naughty one. I was the quiet, Seedha one. Eunice was the one who everybody was pulling his leg.
Yeah.
So, well, it was great fun. I got to work with some senior actors as well. I think Ashutosh sir is just
He's phenomenal,
fantastic.
yeah.
He gives so much in a scene. I mean, a lot of acting is what you're getting from your co-actors to work off of.
He's super intense. Like any role that he does, it's just it grips you.
Yeah. And so, no, and he gives so much in the scene as well. So I think he lifts the performance of everybody there.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to work off of.
Correct.
And Advait always allows all of that to happen. So yeah, I had a great time. Kiku sir, I mean, he's an A-list TV star. He's probably the most recognizable person in our film. And he's doing a dramatic part on this one.
Okay.
So it was great fun.
It's fun. Are you waiting for it to release? It's out on Feb 7th.
It's coming on February 7th. 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks of promotions left.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Yeah, promoting
fun.
films are fun. You get to meet people.
Yeah. Get different perspectives.
Yeah.
So has the whole nepotism conversation come up with you, and how do you feel about it? Especially because the film involves you and Khushi, and obviously you guys come from that lineage.
Yeah, no, of course. And no, I think I'm extremely privileged. I don't think there's, I don't know, like, what else to say. I'm the firstborn son of a loved, rich and powerful man. I'm ticking all the privilege boxes. So yeah, and yeah, that's not something that, it's not something for me to use or not use. It exists. It's around me. It's in the way people are around me. It's everywhere, and I get immense benefit from it. I mean, I can, as an actor today, I can afford to not be on social media.
Yeah.
I don't think other actors
Somebody who's just
would be able to do that.
Yeah.
Why
do you say that?
I think the exposure that it brings you.
Yeah.
I mean, you would otherwise need that. I don't need that because the whole industry knows who I am. And producers are very confident that when a film comes with me in it, it'll get those eyeballs simply because I'm in it. So I can afford to not be on social media. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think in everything. And it's not something I can use or not use. It's not
Correct. It's just there.
It's there, yeah.
Like, what do you do?
Yeah, it's not like I need to tell producers.
Yeah.
It exists. It's not something I can be like.
So, when you talk about exposure and you talk about being in the public eye, how is it like for an introvert? Because you're almost like things are written about you just by default, right? So how did that kind of balance out through the entire journey?
No, I like meeting people. And I think I do like talking to people. And yeah, I mean, I may not like loud parties and stuff, but but yeah, no, I don't think it's a this or that kind of situation.
Right. While growing up as well.
Yeah, I think while growing up as well.
Like you were just okay. Like it's there. This is a part of my life. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think I knew anything else. I mean, I think my father was a very big movie star from practically when I was born.
Yeah.
Maybe just a few years after. I mean, so it's something it's always been there.
Right.
I don't know any different.
Talk to me about your equation with Imran Khan, who was also on the show, and he had lots of fun.
That also must have been great fun, yeah?
It was insane fun. Like he was just so chill and relaxed and just honestly so vulnerable, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I think he also has a wealth of knowledge on like all subjects.
You really resemble him, you know.
Talk to him about anything. No, I don't know about that.
Like at least physically, you guys look kind of I don't know if you've got that before.
No, I think I'm bigger built than he is. He's more
just
lanky.
Facially. Like,
Facially, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, I think I've only heard that once before.
And how was the entire, the entire journey been about like figuring out your career path, making this film first, now the second film? Are you always thinking in terms of like, what's my next move? Like, how are you as an individual? Like, do you plan ahead, or do you say, okay, like this should be what I will do next, or are you more free flowing?
I tend to be very free flowing. I don't really plan ahead very much.
Okay.
I started acting in Bombay in 2017 on stage, and I mean, there was no like, I have to get into films or any such thing. It kind of, whenever it would like an opportunity would arise, I would go for it, obviously. But I wasn't like making plans as such. Maharaj happened. After that, also like for a couple of years, I was doing stage still, but it wasn't really a film. For a good couple of years. I think after shooting Maharaj in 2021, I shot in 2023. December 23.
Did that ever make you nervous?
Not really. I think I was still doing stage. I was doing some production at that point as well for Aamir Khan Productions. Because after the pandemic, Dad was also having a thing in life, which everyone now knows about. He's talked about it very publicly. So I was doing some production work. I was still continuing to do stage. I had a new play in 2022. And then actually there was another film also that Aamir Khan Productions was with Aamir Khan Productions I was in, which we in fact shot before Loveyappa.
Okay.
It's called Ek Din with Sai Pallavi. So we shot that. We started shooting that end of 2023, and Loveyappa kind of happened after that.
Okay.
From May onwards. So actually suddenly everything was back to back. I had like 2021 to until December 23 I had not really shot, and then suddenly I shot 2 films back to back, December to April, and then May to August, and then songs in December. So I've not really planned or anything. It's just how things happened.
So what drives you? Like, there are certain people who like want to become an actor because, say, I want the star power, or there are some actors who just want to really do good work. There are others, and they're all nobody's wrong. Nobody's wrong. What drives
nobody's wrong. Well, I like stories, so I think I like to connect with stories. and work with people who I trust to make them well.
Yeah. In whichever context. So whether
In
that's...
whichever context, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Whether it's stage or film. Yeah.
And how are you on the personal front? Like, what are you typically, like, what are you doing outside of the film world, right? Like, what do you have any
It's been a
passion?
busy year.
Okay. So there's not been much.
Yeah, it's been a busy year. But, I mean, I tend to read.
Okay.
I guess as most of us get older, we tend to read less. I don't know. I've not met that many people who it's been the other way around for. But I think I still get to read a little bit. I play chess.
Okay.
On my phone mostly these days. Yeah. I play football sometimes. I guess we're all consuming content on television.
In some format.
Yeah, in some format.
Yeah.
So that's there.
Yeah. OTT is like,
Yeah.
can't live without it. Which do you prefer? Do you like the experience of being, is it very different from being in an OTT film versus something that's going to release on?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think a film is a film, and how to distribute, how to get it to the most people. I think distributors and producers understand that better. So as an actor, I don't think there's any difference.
Okay.
As a consumer, I actually really like long format things.
Yeah. Yeah, I like many seasons.
Yeah. So
Long 1 hour episodes.
So I don't know. Hopefully, I might be able to get to do it as an actor also. Who knows?
Yeah. And what's next?
There's the Aamir Khan Productions film.
Okay. When is that? When does that air?
Well, I mean, hopefully soon, yeah. But there's no way of telling with AKP.
Yeah.
AKP, we take our time with.
It's going.
With everything.
Yeah.
With everything we take our time.
Yeah.
We do things aram se and carefully. And we take our time. Yeah, I'm on stage in March.
Okay.
At the NCPA Experimental Theatre.
Oh.
21st, 22nd, I think. Or 22nd. Whatever's the weekend. I'm not entirely sure at the moment. And yeah, I have my film Loveyappa coming 7th February.
Yes, please.
In
we must.
theatres near you.
Yeah. Good. We got that off the list.
Yeah.
Okay, so since you like stories, why don't you tell us a few stories, right? And I'll say a particular name, and then you can tell me a story with that person. Okay, if you have a story.
Okay.
You pick people that are in your vicinity.
Oh, okay.
Tell me a story with your sister that stands out as a memory.
Oh, good God. I have to pick.
You can pick. You can tell me 2. You can tell me 3. How many other stories? Well, we love stories at Humans of Bombay, so the more the merrier.
You know, actually, for Loveyappa only, just a few days ago, she sent me a photograph. And she said, can I post this on Instagram? I think it was a childhood photo of us or something. I'm not sure. She may have also posted it. I don't know. But she checked with me. She checked with me first.
Yeah.
And I think that is really sweet. Right now, everybody is posting everything on Instagram.
Yeah.
But she checked with me. She's like, can I post this picture of us? And I said,
So
yeah,
sweet.
of course you can. Please do.
Yeah, so sweet. What's your relationship like with her?
No, it's lovely. I think as children, we're about 5 years apart. So as children, the age gap felt more.
Yeah.
And now it feels like I'm younger than her.
Yeah.
She's the mature, level-headed one who we go to for advice.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think there's been that bit of a shift.
That's sweet. What about a story with Khushi Kapoor? Tell me from the sets of Loveyappa.
First scene we rehearsed was the scene where she's yelling at me on the phone. And I don't know which way to look, and I'm like, oh, what is going on?
Yeah.
Sorry, yes. So because Advait was nervous about, how this is going to go, he's like, I'm going to start with the loudest possible scene.
Yeah.
And she just took off immediately off the bat. She was just like at it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know which way to
Yeah.
And we were from across the room facing away from each other because it was technically on the phone. And I think then Advait was relaxed. He was like, okay, cool.
There's more than one word that's coming out of there.
Yeah, he's like, okay, now I think I have my film. I'm not worried.
Okay. And a story with your father, memory. And it can be any time. It can be a childhood memory, teenage memory, recent memory.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something that I think you might relate to.
Oh.
I think I was about, I think I must have been 18 or 19. I think I was 19. 18 or 19. I was at that age. And I was sitting with my father in the afternoon at my grandmother's house. और कुछ बातें चल रही थी relationships, प्यार के बारे में. And Papa was like, okay, let me tell you about my love life. And it went on for 3 days.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. It went on for 3 days. We started that afternoon. We continued into the night. We went to sleep. I woke up the next morning. He was shooting an ad. I went to his set. For next 2 days, he was shooting an ad. That story continued for 2 more days on that ad shoot.
What did he say? If you had to
No,
sum
he
it
started from the beginning.
of love and relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I relate.
So I think you might be able to relate to that.
Yeah. So at the end of those 3 days,
Yeah.
what did you feel about love and relationships?
At the end of that 3 days, I was like, I think now this is long format.
Yeah. Should be a film.
No, it'll have to be like a series.
A series. Yeah. Wow. That would work. So tell me a story with Kullu, your recent colleague, who's very fun.
Kullu. So, the day Maharaj dropped on Netflix, I was shooting a scene with Kullu and Nikhil, my friends, a night. And I was on my way to set when Maharaj dropped, and Netflix called me and said, by the way, we dropped on Netflix. I was like, oh, good to know, thank you. So I came to set a little nervous, I must say.
Yeah.
And it was a scene with me, Nikhil and Kullu. I think a part of it is in the trailer where Nikhil says, तुम्हें फोन खोलने का स्ट्रेस हो रहा है मैं समझ सकता हूँ बानी क्यों इतना डर रही है भाई तो that scene, it's a long scene, all night we're shooting, just the three of us on this terrace where there's not that much it's a fairly restricted space. So I did come a little nervous, I was a little this thing, and I think I needed my mind to be taken off off of the fact that I had a film coming out. And Nikhil and Kullu, they are like, especially, Kullu's a professional also, keeping you occupied. They were really sweet, and they made sure that I had completely forgotten
that you have a film on Netflix.
I have a film. Because it was a very important scene we needed to shoot.
Yeah.
So I think they were
That's fun.
Yeah, it was great fun. It was great fun. We shot all night. And I think he told me lots of things which I don't think I can be repeating. He's a comedian, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Any parting thoughts that you have that you want to say to our viewers?
No, whatever you guys want, yeah.
Yeah. Anything that
you know your viewers best.
Okay. What would you say about everything that you've learned so far, and what do you want to learn ahead?
Well, I think especially a craft like acting, it's something that you're constantly learning. I don't think you can ever have learnt it.
Yeah.
So everything is an exercise. So I think it's always a process. And it's always something you can pick up from somewhere or the other.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And what about life? Not acting, just generally.
And I think life is the same.
Yeah.
I think that's why acting is like that, because you're like living other people's lives. So you will never know everything, and it'll never be perfect. There will always be, you could have always gone deeper and done more.
Yeah.
And I think that's always with life as well.
Yeah. You live and learn.
Yeah, I think you can always look forward.
Well, thank you so much, Junaid. This has been amazing. And I wish you all the best for the film, Feb 7th.
Thank you.
And
February 7th.
Feb 7th. And hopefully we have you again after the film and before your next one.
Done.
So yeah, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being the best community, and we'll see you in the next one.